I want to show you today a money creation game that I've been using successfully in class for a number of years now. The objectives of the game are quite simple. So it's just to show how the existence of a fractional reserve banking system will create credit in the economy. So like all good economists, we make clear from the outset what the assumptions of the game are. So namely that we only have one bank here. We're going to print €1,000 in cash, and that €1,000 is going to be deposited in the one bank. We're going to operate a reserve ratio of 10%, and we're going to assume that all monies earned in the economy are redeposited back in the bank. So the first thing I do is ask for volunteers to take on the role of banker and controller. I myself take on the role of the central banker and show the class the €1,000 that I have printed for this hypothetical economy. So to start then, we show the €1,000 being placed on deposit in the bank. The financial controller then takes 10% reserve, €100 in this case, and now has 900 available for lending. The banker also then has debit cards ready for distribution for all the future depositors. Next, we introduce the goods available in the economy. So some students will be assigned the role of car dealers and given their stock of cars accordingly. Some will be assigned the role of jewellers and given the finest jewels that your local pound shop or Euro shop will supply. Some of them will be given the role of holiday home providers, and finally some will be airline companies and will be assigned an airplane each. The students that were not selected then as sellers in the economy will be assigned the role of consumers and borrowers. So to start, I call on student 1, so in this case Grania wants to buy a second-hand car and goes to the bank to borrow €900. Banker gives her the €900 in cash, and then she goes off in search of her dream car. She buys her car then from student 2, second-hand car dealer Thomas. He then deposits the €900 in the bank and receives a debit card from the banker and is told that he can withdraw his cash anytime that he wishes using the ATM or contactless payment. The financial controller then takes the 10% of this new deposit, so in this case €90, and now has 810 available to lend. I call on student 3 next, Aoife, who wishes to buy jewellery and needs to borrow €810 from the bank. Again, she goes to the bank and gets the loan from the banker and goes in search of her jewellery. Okay, so again, you can see how the game progresses, okay, through each of the steps. So when we work through the whole game to the very end, we add up all of the deposits and all of the loans, and we can clearly then see how much the deposits have grown. So in this case, they've grown to €10,000. So in effect, we've proven that the functioning bank will create money in the economy. And we then usually have a discussion at this point about the deposit multiplier, and I will usually introduce then the multiplier formula at this stage to the students. But there are other discussion points that can be used, and to make it even more realistic, then I always end the session by giving the banker more chocolate money than anybody else in the room.